Background: I'm 5 feet taller than me, and my boyfriend are both 20. Last week me and my boyfriend went to a restaurant for our 3-year anniversary. While we were eating, a random lady walks up to us and started yelling at my boyfriend for dating a child. I explained that me and him are the same age, and she cuts me off. She then asked the waitress to kick us out and called my boyfriend a pervert. The waitress was actually one of my high school friends, and she explained that we did nothing wrong. She storms out and we finish eating and leave. I've been waiting to post this as my account aged. Long time lurker, first time poster. I worked in a daycare for 5 years. I managed one for 4 out of the 5. I was 18 years old when I first got into management role. I was bright-eyed and chipper and ready to change the world one aftercare program at a time. Our cast: me, the naive daycare manager. M, entitled mother. K, the child who I don't blame due to the mother. Ed, entitled dad. P, the panic attack I had after the situation occurred. So my time during the daycare, there was this little boy, I say little, but he was 11, that constantly didn't listen. Him talking full-fledged, would do things he knew he shouldn't. Didn't matter how many times I talked to him. Didn't matter what I did, nothing ever worked. I tried working with this mom multiple times. It got to the point where my boss was just like, alright, they can't come back for the rest of the week. And then he'd push me in the room with them to drop the bomb. The mom and dad always had excuses for him. So in this particular issue, the kid ran away from his group. Which, I mean, isn't that bad. The kicker is he hid in a secluded part of our building and played Angry Birds on his phone until I finally found him because he screamed. When asked why he left the area he was supposed to be in, he told me, I just didn't feel like listening. I don't have to. My parents told me they don't like you, so I don't like you either. I wasn't surprised, and I was fine with this comment. I was not the biggest fan of them either. I of course had communication with my boss the whole time during this situation, and he had communication with the parents on what was going on. She told them we would have the consequence and paperwork ready when they came to pick the kids up. This is where the fun begins. Please keep in mind this isn't word for word, but you get it tbh. M/storms into room. I know where this is going. He isn't suspended. This is clearly you guys' fault. Me, actually, he indefinitely is for the next 3 days. Child's name: sister is welcome to come back during these 3 days, but your son is unfortunately not able to join us. I try to go into why and explain the safety issue and how we need him to understand that he has to stay with the group, but she was not having it. She screamed and at one point slammed her hand on the table. The son at one point looks at me and says, I told you she didn't like you. And the mom said, that's true. This is why. After blaming the group teacher for him running away, even after telling her what she said, she storms out of the building with her kids, and I think the situation is over. Mayo wrong. It's about 30 minutes until closing when I get a call to the front where the kids get picked up. I walk up there and see Ed standing there brooding in the lobby, confused and bracing myself for more drama. I ask him how I can help him today. Ed, do you realize that you're suspending a Marine's son? Why don't you take better care of my kid? Maybe if you did, he wouldn't be making bad choices. Me, sir, I'm sorry that this happened, but we have a parent and code of conduct handbook that both you and your student signed acknowledging the rules. The conversation continued, and as it continued he got more and more mad. He began yelling, and my front desk attendant got nervous, bless her heart, and she immediately started texting the owner who had left the other day. I pulled the dad into the office because other parents were coming in. It was see-through, so my attendant had visuals on me and him, and he got really close to my face. Ed, I'm a Marine. You're not going to suspend my son, and he will be here tomorrow. Me, thank you for your service. I can't imagine the dedication to this country you have. However, that doesn't change the outcome of what happens today. Ed, this is word for word, because I was 100% shocked. I'm going to kick your effing ass. I'm tired of you acting like a smug little crap because my son doesn't follow the rules. At this point Ed is all up in my face. I laugh when I'm uncomfortable, so I was chuckling a lot, but other than that I think I held myself well, but homie was jacked. The more he screamed, the harder it was for me not to laugh. So he continues to scream, and finally I just look at him and said I was about to call the police and that he can either leave right now or in handcuffs. He gave me a whole rant about how Marine and millennials are bullcrap people who don't care about veterans, even though my whole family is vets, and then my boss walked in and took over. I left the room and had to sit down in the office for a bit. I held myself composed out there, but I didn't realize how shaken up I was until after this dude was not my issue anymore. My attendant told me I was a bad but and she was really impressed. I felt like a punkle mayo. Long story short, kid was suspended and he still would act up after that day. Parents literally started telling him they didn't care if he didn't listen in daycare, so long as he listened in school. Apparently by the story's head tell he didn't do that either. He would tell me he didn't like me, but it got to the point where I just counted down the days before he was too old to be in the program anymore. His sister was an angel, so I knew when he left it wouldn't be an issue anymore. Work daycare, ladies and gents. I have plenty of these. Here's another one for y'all. As I've said before, I work at a daycare, but this time we are closing for 3 months. So this man walk in and start demanding we not close. He tried explaining it was inconvenient to drive 5 more minutes to the other location. After a long talk about how there's nothing we can do, he threatens to take his kid out of the program. My boss chuckles and remarked how that's one less kid she has to find a spot for. The man turns red and starts to yell, demanding we need to postpone everything because he wasn't given adequate time to make his own arrangements, and that all the money he pays he better get what he wants. As I said before, working on base is easy and 99% people are nice and courteous, so it's always rare to find someone so rude and crazy. The man is reminded that he pays nothing. We see if his position rank he's fully covered for child care. At least he was until my boss called his and reported his behavior. Now he's looking for child care off base, turning a 5-minute drive into at least 30 plus and what was free to at least 5.50 an hour. Feel bad for the kid, BC he loved it here. So, this incident happened in 2016, when I was a simple 10-year-old boy. And, the public playground was in the apartment, where I was living. Cast. Ed, entitled Dad. Me. Obviously me. Now, the conversation took place in Hindi. But, your friendly redditor will translate it for you. Me. / joyfully playing with my friends. Ed, excuse me, please get off the playground. You're too old to play here. Me, why? Ed, because you're too old to play here, and you may hurt my child. Me, don't worry, we do not play harshly, and will not hurt the child. Ed, I don't know about that, but you must get off this playground. Me, / visible confusion / Anyway, we ignore him, and continue our game for about 10 minutes, when he interrupts the game. Ed, don't you guys have manners? I told you must leave the playground, so you should. Me, but this is a public playground. Everyone can play here. Ed, but you're too old to play here. Me, being a simple innocent boy that time, / leaves the playground / To this day, I regret taking any action against Edition. Because of him, I experienced my life's first WTF moment. Buy me a present, because I took my own kid on holiday. Basically the title. Picked up my stepson after he went on holiday with his mum and stepdad. First thing he says to me is, "Mum said that since she spent $600 on me for the holiday, you can take me to the shops to get mum and stepdad a thank you present." Yeah, okay, thanks for taking your own kid on holiday that you also got to enjoy. Hello lovely people. I have a story for you to enjoy. I used to pet a pizza delivery driver for, let's call them, Father Jonathan's. I did this for nearly an entire year, and oh boy were there some fun people you run into. Like the guy who offered me weed. That was fun-ass. Now the subject of our story today is a very entitled mother who has a very interesting claim to the random pizza girl. Shall we begin? Well, who do you think? You've been on this sub long enough. SL, because school secretary makes it weird with the 2S, so we have school lady. Me, majestic walk. Manager. Not really, there are the poor kids that have this woman as a mother. Disclaimer, it's been a while since this happened, so details aren't completely word for word. Story. So it's Valentine's Day and we have a special on a heart-shaped pizza. I get a order for a school nearby. Cool, right? Except it's not. The total was $0, meaning that it's a remake. But I had been there since opening and hadn't seen that order come through before. So I ask my manager who was working that day, oh yeah, it's for some lady who said it was never delivered. I just shrug and go about my day, make the pizza, cut the brownie, cut the other pizza, bag it up, clock it out, put it in my car, and leave, knowing full well I'm not getting a single tip on this one. But at least it's close, and I can wash my hands of the situation. I get to the school and park. I hated to deliver there, because the office was up a huge flight of stairs, and carrying a huge pizza bag was not fun. I get up to the desk, and give the name on the receipt to the school lady. It's for a student, Great. So I'm going to have to wait for this kid. But here is where it gets good. SL, I think that's a student here. Me, oh okay. I can wait. SL, / does a typey thing on the computer and her face gets confused / actually that's not a student. Can you call the number? So I go ahead and call the number. Here is where our woman of the hour enters. Hello? Me, yes ma'am. This is your father Jonathan's pizza delivery driver. I'm just calling to make sure I have the address right. Well you are at the school right? Me, yes ma'am. Well quit wasting my time. Just give it to my son. He should be at the school. SL starts to shake her head no. SL, no. The students aren't allowed deliveries from outside the school. She can't do that. Me, / to the I'm sorry ma'am, but the school is saying I'm not able to make the delivery because they don't allow outside deliveries. Well, how else am I going to feed my triplets? This is at a high school. Me, I'm so sorry ma'am boo. So what? You're just going to let my babies starve? Me, ma'am I'm so sorry, but I have to follow school policy. You know you guys did this yesterday too. And they went without lunch then too. It's your fault if they don't eat again today. Me and SL are just kinda shocked. My fault triplets aren't being fed. Me, I'm sorry ma'am, but I cannot go against the school's policy. No, it's your fault. My babies are going to starve for the second day in a row because you idiots can't just deliver a pizza to them. Me, I apologize ma'am, but you are just going to have to call the store and speak to my manager. This is out of my hands. Hangs up, and the poor desk lady just shakes her head. SL, she did that yesterday too. And even if we didn't have that rule, the boys left with their friends. The friends had spotted them lunch even before the pizza got there. So I just took the pizzas back to the store. I had to look at the receipt to see how much she had originally paid for 2 pizzas and a brownie. She paid $42. $42 for 2 pizzas and a brownie. Lady, go to Walmart and get stuff for PB&J for like under $10. My fault her probably really nice kids didn't eat that day. Okay Karen. My manager only laughed and rolled her eyes. She said we could just eat the pizza if she never came to get them. Well, I enjoyed every slice of it. So somewhere out there are 3 teen boys that I stuffed because I couldn't deliver a pizza. Sorry guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, a like and a comment would mean a lot in YouTube's world. Share with us if you would have done things differently. And don't forget to support the original authors with an upvote. Links are in the description. Peace out and catch you tomorrow.